Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Raleigh. I'm a personalized professional learning program manager for Denver Public Schools in Denver, Colorado, and I'm very excited to be here with you for your Week 6 challenge. Katie McFarland asked me to join in with these challenges, and I'm so glad that she did. I want to talk to you today about the power of being connected. My very first example of why it's so great to be connected is exactly how I got to know Katie. So Katie and I met in person at ISTE in Philadelphia this summer, and we had been connecting online for many months, and it was such a pleasure to get to meet her face to face. We talked together on Voxer, I see her online on Twitter, and then we had that face to face connection, and we got to see each other a few times throughout the week. And I think that that in itself is such an amazing thing that I'm able to connect with people face to face and online throughout the year, and that those face to face meetups are sort of enhancing the online connections that we have, and then those online relationships turn into face to face connections. So I'm connected with educators all over the world now, thanks to Twitter, and especially thanks to the BFC 530 Twitter chat. That's the Breakfast Club 530, and it's a really wonderful community that I am very privileged to help organize. And that community consists of people from all over the world now who get up at 5:30 in the morning and they chat together just for 15 minutes about a different topic every day. But it's a really great group of people, and so I'm very privileged to be a part of that community and to have met so many wonderful people through that. And if it weren't for Twitter, if it weren't for being a connected educator, I never would have that opportunity. So I want to also tell you that a lot of times I think about how valuable it could have been for me to be a connected educator when I was still in the classroom, because while I loved being a teacher and it was absolutely one of the best jobs I've ever had in my life, it was really hard. Being a teacher is difficult, and I felt very isolated, like I was on an island sometimes. I would often have to shut my door and hide some of the things that I was doing that I thought were really actually great things for my kids, because they weren't always honored. I wasn't always valued as an educator, and the things that I was doing with my students weren't always on the same page at the same time of the scope and sequence that I was being told to follow. And that was really hard. It was hard to teach that way. And there were days where, it would have been really great to talk to somebody just for that support or reassurance, or, have someone to brainstorm with. I've had a lot of really amazing teammates over the years in my education career, but I've also had some teammates who weren't on the same page as I was. They weren't really in the same headspace as I was. So if I could have had someone to process with and to kind of do some thought partnership with, I think that would have really been helpful for me through the great times when I wanted to celebrate, and through some of the tough times where I would have, really been able to benefit from having that, hand on my shoulder virtually, so to speak. So being connected is amazing, but it also takes a lot of time and investment, and sometimes that can be really overwhelming, especially for, educators who are so busy. So I'm here to also share a few tips for you before we jump into the challenge. One tip that I have for you is that you will never be able to keep track of everything on Twitter all the time, so don't try. It's not like Facebook, I call it the Facebook syndrome, where people are accustomed to social media where you just scroll and more baby pictures and more people's food, like keep going, and then you finally get to that place where you left off the day before or the week before, and then you feel like you've accomplished your job. Okay, I made it, I'm back to where I started, now I can put it away until the next time. Twitter is not like that. You will never be able to get through everything, and you shouldn't try to. You really shouldn't. So be really excited when you're there and you jump into those conversations that are happening right then. Look for things that you can search for, like hashtags and other community chats, things that you can kind of come back to after they've happened, and jump into the conversations if you feel like, there's something that resonates with you. But also don't feel like you have to keep up on everything all the time. Twitter lists are a great way to, start to build sort of that network that you want to keep track of in different ways. You might make a list of people who post a lot about education technology, and you might make a list of 7th grade math teachers if you're a 7th grade math teacher. So you can kind of organize things a little bit that way. Another tip that I have is to use TweetDeck. I absolutely love TweetDeck. Some people like Hootsuite and some of the other tools that are out there, but TweetDeck is my very favorite. So check out TweetDeck. I'll share some resources that will help you with how to get started with a tool like TweetDeck, and you can kind of use that to organize yourself online when you're in Twitter as well. So that will really help you. Another tip that I have for you is you have to invest and you have to put in the time and the effort in order for you to get something out of it. So really be willing to do that, and sometimes it can be a little overwhelming or a little scary, especially if you're shy. Some of the things that are not appropriate in a face-to-face conversation, like walking up to 3 people who have been talking for 15 minutes and just kind of inserting yourself into the conversation, we would a little bit frown on that face-to-face, but online that's totally acceptable. If you see a conversation going on that really speaks to you and you want to be part of it, please don't be shy. Be a part of it. Do it respectfully, obviously, but there's nothing wrong with jumping in and saying, gosh, I'm so sorry that I'm coming in late, but this is a cool conversation. I would love to share something with you. It's totally fine to do that. Also, it's important to build relationships online. So one of the best ways to do that is to find a chat or a community through a hashtag that really speaks to you and that you want to be a part of, and then to continue to revisit it, keep coming back, sharing, commenting on what other people are saying, starting some conversations with people. Those are the ways that you start to build your network into a really great group of people who, when you post something, whether it's a question or a blog post, they will be able to respond to you because they'll know you and they'll be excited to share back and forth with you. So I know sometimes people have 10,000 followers and they feel like this edgy celebrity who's so amazing. The really good people who are worth talking to online are people who want to talk to you, even if you only have one follower and even if you just started your Twitter account yesterday. So say hello to them, tell them when their blog post speaks to you, ask a question if you have it for them. Don't be afraid to engage in those conversations, because if you're just watching, and I do say lurking is learning, I believe that that's true, so there's nothing wrong with just kind of watching. If you're kind of sort of taking it all in and you're getting something out of that, great. If that's valuable to you, that's awesome. But at some point, jump out there and say hello. Ask somebody a question. Don't be afraid to also be putting something out there. Even just at the beginning of the year, share a picture of your classroom and say, I'm really excited about this new furniture that I got. Or, we have 6 more Chromebooks in our classroom this year and I can't wait to use them. And, post those kinds of things. Celebrate out loud. It's not bragging. It's sharing. And there's a great, great group of people out there who wants to see what you're sharing. So your challenge is going to be posted for you on the blog. If you have questions about it or you want to talk to me more about it, please don't be afraid to reach out to me. I would love to connect with you this week, and I'm going to try to jump in and participate and do the challenge with you this week, but I'll also be sharing some resources that will help you with your challenge. I hope that you have fun with it, and I can't wait to work with you more this week and throughout the school year. Thanks, everyone. Talk to you soon.